The mansion's dining hall had always felt like a monument to wealth. Long polished table, portraits staring down, chandeliers reflecting crystal brilliance across the plates. But that night, everything felt softer, warmer, different. Grace did not know why Margaret had asked her to dress nicely and come downstairs, only that the request felt kind, not commanding, not formal, just human. Grace wore a simple cream-colored dress Margaret had given her weeks earlier, something modest and soft against the skin. She stood at the entrance of the dining room now, hands clasped in front of her, uncertain. Margaret turned when she entered, and her smile was gentle, genuine. "Margaret, come, dear. Sit with us tonight." Grace froze. With us. Not behind. Not beside. With. Ethan rose immediately, pulling out the chair next to his, not with eagerness, but quiet respect. Grace sat, heart fluttering like a sparrow that had forgotten how to land. Scene 1. Breaking bread. Dinner was simple tonight. Roasted potatoes, soft bread, and warm soup fragrant with rosemary. Not the extravagant feasts they often served for guests. Grace noticed that. It felt chosen. It felt thoughtful. No one spoke for a moment. Just the sound of spoons and soft breaths. Margaret broke the silence first. "Margaret, Grace, how did you learn to cook so wonderfully?" Grace looked up, surprised anyone cared to ask. "Grace, my grandmother taught me, before things changed." Her voice wavered, but Margaret didn't ask more. She let the space remain gentle. "Margaret, she must have loved you very much." Grace breathed in, a soft nod. "Grace, she did. She taught me that food was never really about eating. It was about giving comfort. A meal could tell someone, you're not alone." Margaret's eyes glowed. Something deep, maternal, awakening. "Margaret, I would have liked to meet her." Grace smiled. A small, heartfelt curve of the lips. The first true one in days. Ethan watched her quietly, not with longing, but with gratitude. He was learning to love without possession. Scene 2. The prayer. Margaret placed her hands on the table. "Margaret, may I say grace?" Grace blinked, startled, then deeply moved. She had prayed alone so many times. To be asked to pray together was something holy. They bowed their heads. Margaret prayed softly. "Margaret, Lord, thank you for this food, for this home, and for the company gathered here. Thank you for forgiveness that grows, even when it is fragile. Thank you for hearts willing to heal. May we walk in your love, one step at a time. Amen." Grace whispered her amen through a tremor of emotion. And Ethan didn't just say amen. He meant it. Scene 3. After the meal. When dinner ended, Grace helped collect the dishes, but Ethan stepped beside her, gently placing his hand over hers on the stack of plates. "Ethan, let me help." Grace looked up into his eyes, steady, clear, remorseful, and present. "Grace, you don't have to." Ethan shook his head softly. "Ethan, I want to serve, not be served." The words were quiet, but Grace felt them. Not performance, not apology disguised as effort, but transformation. They washed dishes side by side in warm water, hands brushing now and then, not in romantic sparks, but in comfort. A shared rhythm, a shared life beginning at the edges. Scene 4. Margaret's view from the hallway. Margaret stood just outside the doorway, watching the two at the sink. Sleeves rolled up, laughter gently returning, kindness flowing like water. Her heart softened. This girl who had nothing, brought something no wealth could buy. Peace, humility, grace itself. Margaret folded her hands and prayed silently. "Margaret, Lord, thank you for sending her, even if the journey was painful. Thank you for the woman who teaches my son to love like you do." Scene 5. The night air. Later, Grace stepped outside to breathe the cool night air. The sky was clear, thousands of stars scattered like promises waiting to be fulfilled. Ethan followed, but kept a polite distance. "Ethan, Grace, may I sit?" She nodded. They sat together on the stone steps of the veranda, not touching, simply existing beside each other. Ethan softly, "Thank you for tonight." Grace looked up at the sky, voice just as soft. "Grace, I'm still hurt." "Ethan, I know, Grace, but I'm also healing." Ethan's breath trembled. Hope, fragile, but real, stirred in his chest. Grace added one more sentence. Quiet, gentle, profound. "Grace, Some seeds just take time to bloom. Ethan nodded. Ethan, then I'll wait for spring. Grace smiled. Small, real, luminous as moonlight. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But faith in the possibility of it. Which is where love truly begins.